We need to make sure that we're getting outcomes.
What are your concerns about what's been happening with Wellington Water?
Well, obviously, in regards to that specific example, I have significant concerns, as do I expect ratepayers in regards to that. I've called them in and they're coming in for a please explain, and I'm looking at all the options that I have available in regards to doing what we can around that situation. But more broadly, I think what that reinforces is the criticality of moving to a local water done well plan, ensuring that we have financially sustainable models in place to deal with water, and ensuring that we've got the economic regulation also around the outset, the belts and braces, to ensure that these entities are actually delivering value for taxpayer. The concerns highlighted by that example is wastage, and we're under a lot of pressure. Kiwi households are under a lot of pressure at the moment, and the rates and the costs from local government is one contributing factor, and as a government we're focused on doing everything we can to alleviate that pressure, and we have a responsibility also to help them do that.
What was one of the problems there that was kind of seemed to be a hybrid model? It wasn't really a proper CCO, so it still had kind of half council run, if you like, in the way it was run, rather than being run almost as a business.
Yeah, it very much was not what you would refer to as a proper CCO. It had it does have a number of weaknesses in regards to the governance model. That's why we've been very clear under Local Water Done Well that the CCO models need to meet the requirements of economic regulation and also from a governance point of view. And we should and we must avoid situations like we're seeing play out at the moment, because as a country and as communities we cannot afford to have inaction in this critical space.
So what are your options specifically with Wellington Water? I mean, what are the options for what you can do?
Well, obviously I've got an observer in place on Wellington Council at the moment. I'm receiving advice from my officials around what other options I have available. I haven't received that yet, but I will do in the following days, and I'll be feeding that back through at the meeting that I have with them early next week.
I mean, presumably one of the things, would be to turn them as quickly as possible into one of these new entities under the Local Water Done Well?
Yeah, well, that's already happening in practice at the moment. The teams are already working in terms of what is their model. They have, like every other council, till early September to have that completed. Obviously, what plans that I'm looking at is what can we do to bring that forward as much as possible and ensure that we have a stable footing moving forward. Every month that we delay in regards to infrastructure investment across our cities and regions is a month we don't get back, and there is a cost to that to our communities as well. So you can have confidence that I've directed my officials that we need to be moving at pace and leave no stone unturned in regards to the options that we deploy, but also importantly, working to help them get onto a stable and enduring footing. We can't have a situation where this type of activity comes back, and that's why the financial sustainability principles under Local Water Done Well are so critically important.
More broadly, are you happy with the progress being made on the city and regional deals?
Oh, look, I'm really pleased. We've received 18 submissions from regions and cities across the country. Those are currently being reviewed by an expert group panel. We're wanting to move as quickly as we can in terms of getting moving on some of those deals, and I'll have more to say about that soon. But I think what was encouraging is to see that groupings of councils and regions across the country have seen this as a significant opportunity. I see this as a game changer between the relationship of central government and local government in this country. I think if we can truly get a mechanism that is enduring across political cycles, that delivers certainty, and certainty particularly around what we build and when and how we fund it over a 10-year period as part of a broader 30-year rolling program of infrastructure, that is fundamentally a step change of significant scale compared to the status quo. And I think often we underestimate the power of certainty in the context of what we're doing. But that is a vehicle, is what I see as one of the fundamental policy changes that if we can get it started and ensure that it's successful, and importantly that it's enduring. And I'm pleased to hear the opposition's comments around the fact that they broadly support the principle of the concept of the model. But proof's in the pudding. We need to make sure we get some of those deals signed, and we need to make sure that we're getting outcomes.